Hi, hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to a new video on this channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the latest song Lisa has dropped for the World Cup, all the backlash, and where I think her solo career is actually heading. So without further ado, let's get started.
From my head to my toes. Yes, I'm goals.
A week ago, it was announced that Lisa, Anitta, and Rema would be releasing a collab track for this 2026 World Cup. This follows the news that she will be performing at the opening ceremony. Last year, Jungkook and a Qatari singer did the performance, and this year, since the World Cup is being hosted in 3 countries at the same time, I honestly don't know how this is going to work because I have zero knowledge about football, but basically there will be different performances with several singers in each country, and in the US, Lisa, Anitta, Rema, plus Katy Perry and Future will be participating. It makes total sense that 3 of these artists would put a track together to perform because they probably won't get much solo time to shine. People were so hyped about this combo, which looked incredibly promising, between Rema, who is a Nigerian rapper, Anitta, a Brazilian singer, and Lisa from Thailand. It is like they had it all, but sadly not everything went well. The song itself is not good. The only way I can describe it is like a commercial jingle where the 50-second snippet they show might be catchy, but the rest is a total mess. Nothing matches with anything, it's repetitive, and I have so many points to cover that I don't even know where to begin, but I will start with the lyrics first. Anyone would think that the goals in the title, which they keep repeating throughout the entire track, is about football goals that the players score. Well, it turns out not. It's about how unattainable Lisa's body is. I'm not trying to laugh, but I really want to, because how does it even cross your mind to talk about yourself in a World Cup song for countries where you're supposed to represent everyone? Lisa, please. Before Blink starts spamming my comments saying that she didn't write the lyrics, that's a topic I will address later, but let's analyze the lyrics. First, my body goals, my feet goals, my friends goals, my whip goals. The song starts off talking about her, and it never talks about anything else. Shots on shots on shots on shots, thoughts on thoughts on thoughts on thoughts. What do you even mean by thoughts? I literally had to look it up to see if it meant what I thought, but yeah, it actually does. For my bilingual friends, it's basically like bitch or hoe. In fact, it's an acronym for that hoe over there, which is obviously an insult and derogatory towards women. But hey, if Lisa says it, then I guess it's feminist. At least that's what Twitter told me. Buy out the club, I do it for the plot. How much does it cost? I don't know what's a lot. Flexing about how much money she has, something very appropriate for the World Cup. I don't know where she thinks she is, but let's keep going because this hasn't even started yet. I live in the moment, I do what I want, I look so good, I ain't worried about nothing. Me and my girls, we got our tongues out, and you love it. This is basically everything Lisa talks about in his verse. Zero mentions of any country, absolutely nothing about soccer or football, whatever you call it. Which, look, I won't be the one asking you to talk about sports, but that's supposedly what you're here for. It's a song for the World Cup. If you don't know what you're doing, then why even join? The track is another typical Lisa song. It feels like they had it lying around somewhere, the opportunity came up, and they were like, why not? Oh, it needs to be about nations and how the whole world comes together? Well, look, I'm just going to talk about myself, my body, how disgusting little bitch I am. And that's it, because that's literally all I ever do. There will probably be people commenting on why I'm only talking about Lisa when there are 2 other artists featured. Well, that's because the other 2 actually understood the assignment. Anitta sang in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. And yeah, she talked about herself because her solo lyrics are kind of similar to Lisa's, but she also talked about being Brazilian. Plus, she only has 1 verse. And that's it. She couldn't say much either. Rema was the one who did best in my opinion. He mentioned his country, Nigeria, and randomly Monaco too. On top of that, he uses Nigerian Pidgin, which is English mixed with local Nigerian languages, making cultural references to all Africa, whereas Lisa simply didn't. Also, even though the song itself doesn't technically have a main artist, just looking at the line distribution, Lisa sings almost 60% of the track, and in the music video, neither Anitta nor Rema shows up until the 1:25 mark. And when it's their verses, Lisa is right there dancing, but when it's Lisa's parts, only she appears. I'm not complaining, I'm just explaining why I think she's the main artist and the others are just features. Even if it's not official, what they are showing is exactly that. Continuing with the lyrics, the excuse that she didn't write it doesn't work for me. She agreed to release the song. She put her vocals on it. She recorded a horrible music video, which we will talk about later. She promoted it, and she hasn't shown any sign of wanting the song to be different or represent something else. I think you can clearly see who got involved just for fame and who did it out of genuine feeling. Which, look, I'm not saying you can do things because you think they will make you more famous. I'm not that delusional. But when the statements they each made make the intentions so obvious, It just looks fake, and I'm sorry, but I'm not a fan of a fake unity song. Anitta says, my connection to the World Cup is deeply emotional. I'm Brazilian after all. Of course I have wonderful memories tied to the tournament. It's incredibly special to now contribute to its history. Collaborating with Lisa and Rema on goals, I'm very grateful for this opportunity. Rema says, 3 continents, 1 track, bringing all our sounds together like this is a big moment for music on the world stage. And Lisa says, being a part of the FIFA World Cup album this year has been so exciting. Music always unites people across the world, so it has been an honor to work with Anitta and Rema. Maybe the tone I used made it sound worse, but she literally mentions the official FIFA World Cup brand. Just so everyone knows that this isn't just getting together for the sake of it, but it's a prestigious brand, and she's thrilled to be part of it. Plus, she mentions that music unites people across the world. But what world, Lisa? If you haven't mentioned anything that isn't about yourself, what world are you talking about? Music unites people through the meaning of the songs, and here you only include yourself. I'm going to try not to talk too much about the music video because the directing is fine, it's well constructed of course, but it proves, once again, just in case there was any doubt, that this is for Lisa and about Lisa. I mean, why else would it be a labubu dancing? You literally prefer to bring in a labubu instead of talking about your own country, or at this point, any other country in the world. It's honestly mind-blowing. The only one who actually shines is Lisa and her dancing, which I get it because that's what she's good at and what she enjoys, but correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't see any flack in the music video. There were a lot of people playing football, sure. Between shots of Lisa dancing and singing, every now and then some random person would do keepy uppies with the ball, but it gets to a point where this is not serious. This is the 6th song that has been released as a part of the World Cup soundtrack, and it proves once again that Lisa only knows how to make songs about herself, and she can seem to move away from that. It feels a bit sad to me because we can deny that Lisa has every resource she could ever want or need right at her fingertips. She can work with the best producers and writers. And she drops this? I refuse to believe it's because she has nothing else to put out. I just can't bring myself to believe it. Maybe it's because she sees it works for her, so why change something people are enjoying? But fewer and fewer people are paying attention to what she drops. Because once you've heard one Lisa song, you've honestly heard them all. Back in 2021, she was singing about money and her clothes and her body and her Celine flip-flops and the nightclubs. And in 2024, she came back singing about her body and her clothes and how she's the rock star of the nightclubs in Thailand. And in 2026, at the World Cup, she showed up singing about her body and her clothes and the nightclubs and her friends. I like the variety of concepts she got. I totally agree with this comment. Nothing, and I stress absolutely nothing in her music sets it apart from when she was under YG. Money and Goals could honestly be the exact same track because she hasn't evolved at all. And that is just disappointing. The only songs in her discography that I think are actually worth it are her collabs, but this one clearly isn't. I already talked about this when she dropped Born Again, which I think is a really good song, and New Woman is fine too, but the rest, I don't even want to say the adjective that came to my mind. I'm not going to compare this track to Jungkook's Dreamers or Shakira's Waka Waka because I feel there's zero need to. The song is bad on its own, and of course compare it to other songs that are actually about unity makes it worse, but it's really not necessary. I honestly don't know what Lisa is going to do with her career going forward. I'm not saying she's a flop now or that people are going to forget about Lisa because of this, because obviously not, but I think this has generally been a turning point. People already laughed at her cringe baddie concept from her album, Alter Ego, and by the way, that album has like 3 acceptable songs and the rest are just bad, in my opinion. But that is just my take. With Goals, most people agree that it has zero appeal, one specific job, and completely failed at it. I think Lisa realized this, or at least I hope so, because she has so much potential. Jennie and Rose are doing great things, and while their music might not be my personal favorite, they have a clear direction and they know where they are heading. It looks like Lisa just decided to go for the most viral, mainstream thing she could find, but that leaves with no connection and makes people lose interest. That might get you a few million streams on Spotify, but in the long run, that doesn't last. I really hope she actually starts writing her own songs about genuinely interesting topics. Like, it's great that you're gorgeous and successful, Lisa, but you already told me that in 40 different songs already. Tell me something else, or why should I even listen to you? There are people making fun of the fact that the songs she does write or help pen aren't exactly amazing, but nobody's born an expert, and of course there will be cringe, nonsense, and completely horrible lyrics at first, but honestly, as long as they aren't about her body, her money, or how she's going to steal my man, I'm totally fine with it. And that's everything for today's video. Tell me about what you think about goals and Lisa's career. Also, this is voice reveal, so be kind in the comments. Thank you!
And this has been all. I hope you like it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did. It would help me a lot. See ya.